Pedals, not your wheel, not your seat, not your rig. Pedals are the single biggest thing between you and faster lap times. So when Chinese company PXN showed up at the Sim Racing Expo with a brand new set, I had to get my feet on them. Here's the verdict. Greetings Romy, you're watching WromWrom, the channel sharing the joy of sim racing. My name is Serta and I will be your host for this video. Most people blame their wheel when they are slow. Wrong. It's the pedals, specifically the brake pedal. And luckily there are more options on the market right now than ever before. Today we're adding one more to that list, the PXN Vector X. We got a first look at these at the Sim Racing Expo last year, link up there, and now they're finally in my rig and on my feed. Let's get into it. The PXN Vector X are load cell pedals built mainly from laser-cut stainless steel with carbon fiber pedal faces. No elastomers anywhere, just springs, which will immediately remind anyone familiar with VRS pedals of, well, VRS pedals. The resemblance is striking, and since we are right in the middle of testing the VRS set, we can actually compare them directly. More on that in a moment. The brake spring that comes pre-installed maxes out at 125 kilos of pressure, and you can swap it for a stiffer 187 kilo spring if your legs are built differently than mine. The base package is throttle and brake. You can add the clutch later or grab it as a bundle right away. All three pedals connect to a control box via USB-C and the control box connects to your PC via USB. Simple. Now here's the interesting bit. On that control box next to the USB ports there are three connectors labeled motor and a power input. I asked PXN about those. Turns out they are actively working on a haptic feedback system that will plug right into those connectors. No release date, no price yet, but it is coming. And given what we discovered when we tested the 3D wrap haptic system, link up there, that could actually move the needle on lap times. Watch this space. Back to the hardware. The throttle pedal has two connectors because it uses both an angle sensor and a load cell sensor. Load cell on the throttle goes up to 15 kilo, the brake up to 200 kilo, and more power to you if you're able to apply that much force on your legs. And the clutch tops out at 30 kilo. You can adjust the position of about everything in these pedals. Pedal angle, pedal plate position and angle, travel distance and more. Honestly, there's enough there for a dedicated video. Let me know in the comments if that's something you'd want and we'll get cracking. One more thing before we get to the driving. PXN ships these unassembled. Not a big deal, everything you need including bolts and tools is in the box. The bolts and tools come in a vacuum sealed package which I found oddly delightful. You can mount the pedals to the included plate or bolt them directly to your rig, which is what I did. There is also a heel rest and a very fancy PXN branded heel stop included. One note though, PXN specifically advised against using these on folding rigs due to the forces involved. Once everything is set up, calibrate before you drive. The default settings were off for me and a quick calibration in their software sorted it immediately. Speaking of the software, it is well thought out. Curve adjustment, PXN presets, community shared presets, load cell configuration, the works. For the throttle specifically, you can choose to run on the angle sensor only, the load cell only, or both combined. We tried all three and noticed no meaningful difference, so we went with the combined setting as PXN recommends. Right, how do they actually feel to drive? Spring Pedals and I have a complicated relationship and the PXNs were no exception. Finding the breaking point is my usual struggle and I expect it will be yours too. Setting up a custom brake curve helps soften that learning curve, but even after long training sessions I was still locking up here and there. Be prepared to relearn your braking. That's the honest warning. The pedals feel, I want to say non-committal is the best way to put it. There is a slight vagueness to them, especially on the clutch where I struggled to find a clean biting point. Could be a setup thing on my end, but it's worth mentioning. That said, the lap times speak for themselves. The PXNs made me fast. Not Simulcube active pedal fast, not SRP fast, but nearly on par with the VRS pedals I'm testing alongside them. The gap between the two sets comes down to my driving more than the hardware. You can find the full comparison times on our website, link up there and in the description. In a world where the sim racing pro pedals exist, this is always a difficult question, as the Catalan company sells excellent pedals for an excellent price. At €460 early bird price and €420 full price, the PXN 2-pedal set costs only 2/3 of what the SRP pedals cost, which are themselves one of the best value options in the market. The price of the PXNs may be their real advantage. There is one catch right now. Availability is currently limited to the EU, with Australia and South America coming soon, but without a date, and other regions completely unconfirmed. PXN have produced a small first batch and are scaling up, but again, no timeline on that. If you're on a budget, who isn't, and don't have to necessarily skim milliseconds off your times, but want good pedals for a good price, and you are in a region where you can actually order them, the PXN Vector X are a very solid choice. And if the haptic system delivers when it eventually arrives, they could climb even higher on that list. We already know haptic feedback moves the needle on lap times from our 3D wrap test, link up there, so this one is worth watching. Price, software, performance, the PXN Vector X ticks all the boxes and you won't go wrong with them. If you're picking some up, the affiliate link in the description throws a little something on our way. We've got excellent wheels coming up next and plenty more reviews after that, so hit subscribe and leave a like if you enjoyed this one. See you in the next one, Rommies!